All week we've been embedded with the men and women of the Texas Department of Public Safety as they do everything they can to hold the line at the southwest border. To our west in El Paso, the city is overrun. The agents are absolutely overrun. They can't even chase the Godaway. So all last week, I was getting out images from law enforcement cameras as to what was happening. When I tell you, and you're gonna find this and you'll see what I mean by this, you're with the best vanguards in the nation when it comes to pilots working ground operations along with trackers. If you don't leave exhausted at the end of the day, cactus in both legs, and absolutely smoked from the wind, something's wrong. Yeah, if you puke, all you do is pick your shirt up. I mean, pick your shirt up, puke in your shirt. Yeah. Best way to do it, because you don't have to clean the bird up. They'll make you clean the bird if you puke in the bird. Thank y'all for coming, man. Get ready. You're gonna love it. I mean, great guys here, man. They're just good people. Well, welcome aboard. Let's all have some fun tomorrow. Okay, and where'd you want me? Where's my spot, my mark? That line? Okay, sweet. Oh crap, they're calling me already. All right, now why are we here? Because as you're seeing this major surge in Lukeville and down south of where we are here in the Eagle Pass area, in the middle is where a lot of the human smugglers and human traffickers are moving people and drugs into the country. And we're gonna be with these men and women trying to illuminate their operations and how the cartels operate here.
Hey, Mark. There we go. How we doing, bud? Good. Good to see you, bud.
Any other intel, Jimmy, on groups?
No, sir.
Chavez, can you just give a little quick brief on all the pursuits coming out of Santa Teresa with all the loads? I mean, it's just been pursuit after pursuit after pursuit with these smugglers. You want to kind of give this group a little rundown of the last 2 or 3 days?
Yeah, so the city of El Paso sees all the turn-ins, what we call the turn-ins, all the family units, those mass groups that's set up on the border wall. A lot of them lead into bailouts and pursuits into the residential areas around El Paso. So that's kind of what we're seeing.
And these smuggling pursuits that we're seeing, these human smuggling events, like the last several days, probably that I've seen 7-10 days, it's just one after the other coming eastbound from Santa Teresa into El Paso, causing accidents, causing bailouts, causing damage to property. Fences are being torn apart, and I mean, quite frankly, we've been in sectors where we've seen the smugglers run from law enforcement, but I don't know that we've seen them run this much and this frequency as we have in El Paso the last, 2 months, but really the last month it's been crazy.
Food.
Anything left over for us?
Okay, so right here we're about 28 miles south on these caves out here with tracking groups here a couple months ago, and you can hide 100 people in these caves that we found here. We were able to locate narcotics and 5 bodies in here. Like we've flown over this for many years, and we never knew about it until we started picking up tracks on here. But they've been using this for, my God, a long time. In this particular area, there's like 8 big caves like this, right? And just this spot right here. To get to the border there, they probably walk. Some of them probably walk a couple days to get to the river. It is crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, this environment's like we landed on the moon. How do you go from all the different environments, you land on white rock that's overlaid with black rock?
This is not like on a regular trail. They got to know to come here, and obviously
Check this out, man.
they know where to stop.
Dude, that's cool. Yeah, we figured.
I bet it makes great videos. The last time we met, you were assistant chief. You are now chief of all Texas DPS aircraft operations. What's different today from when we last met in April?
Well, I'd like to tell you that things are a little bit better since the last time we last spoke and flew together, but they're not, quite frankly. In fact, it seems like the situation is deteriorating. It's getting worse by the day. When you got 12,000 people a day to process, I mean, that takes a lot of manpower to do. And so you can imagine the gaps that we have to try to come fill in the law enforcement role. And I've been through multiple iterations of surges, you know, back from 2008 to 2010 to 14, different administrations, different crises. We've never seen the numbers that we're seeing today, as evidenced of last week when we set a national record of 12,000 apprehensions in one day.
This is what we know. Border Patrol has caught more than 17,000 migrants in South Texas in just the last 5 days.
We have yet another large group arriving here right now. 5,000 migrants a day are being released into the country. They also had 3 sex offenders, 3 gang members, a few of their convictions, lewd and lascivious acts with a child under 14.
When your neighboring state or your neighboring county, you know, has all of these problems with all of these bodies that are coming in unabated, it's a crisis. Now all of a sudden, when it's your community and your city and your school district and your hospital, it's a disaster. These aircraft can have such an impact and be a force multiplier. In other words, they're so unique in their the mobility that they have and the support that they can provide, that they can take place and cover for gaps, right? Because right now, what the United States is facing is these large gaps. As we know, the cartels, they may be ruthless, but they're not stupid. And when we have these huge gaps created by this vacuum of agents because of, you know, these 10, 12,000 a day apprehensions, then they're going to exploit those gaps.
Hello, I'm Tom Holman from Border 911. You know, I wake up every morning pissed off on what this administration has done to our national security, to our southern border. They unsecure this border on purpose. What commander-in-chief does that to the nation? It has resulted in a record number of Americans dying from fentanyl, over 112,000.
Approximately 300 families today across this nation are going to get a knock at the door, and they're going to be told that the one they love the most in the world is never coming home due to fentanyl and other drugs crossing at this open border. Do you see any change in this anytime soon?
No, I don't, Jason. I mean, I think that law enforcement, at least the state of Texas and Texas Department of Public Safety, we've had record numbers of fentanyl seizures. It's no secret. The data points are out there. People in the industry knows it's, you know, 6, 7 pills out of 10 are considered hot pills, right? Deadly doses. I think it's taken too long for the American public or the general public to catch on to what the effects of fentanyl in an open border can be. And unfortunately, you're right. You know, 300 folks today will get a notification that perhaps they're first-time drug offenders. You know, we've seen this all the time. 14, 15, 16-year-old kids, first-time drug offender, or drug user, thinking they're taking a fentanyl or generic Valium or what have you. It turns out it's chalk laced with one deadly drop of fentanyl, and now we have this one-and-done situation. In my career, your career, Jason, when we dealt with the crack cocaine epidemic or methamphetamine epidemic or heroin epidemic, there was always a chance or hope that you could get rehabbed, right? Or you could get treatment and come back. That's not the case with fentanyl, you know, and it's unfortunate to say, but you know, we say in the industry sometimes if you have a crack cocaine problem or methamphetamine problem, you may be able to check yourself into a rehab and come back. You have a fentanyl problem, you pretty much have to check yourself into a funeral home.
I am Josephine Dunn, and I'm in Prescott, Arizona. On January 1st of 2021, my husband and I, Mitch Dunn, we got physical custody of our 4-year-old grandson. His name is Carson. He was removed by DCFS from his mother. He was given to us to care for because our daughter was living a lifestyle that was not conducive to parenting. Then on May 23rd, we got a phone call at 20 minutes after 1. We were in the morning, and it was the doctor from the ER that said we needed to come to the hospital because Ashley was not okay. We didn't know any of the details. We just knew we needed to go. I was a nurse for many years, so what I saw, I knew she wasn't going to recover from. She was without oxygen for 30 minutes and was poisoned and died. She was never coming back from that.
Well, if we don't have a course correction, Jaeson, we're going to have an even bigger disaster than what we got right now. But what I would want the American public to know is that this problem is 100% fixable. And all it needs is an appetite for success and for leadership to fix this problem. This problem is fixable. If we don't make a course correction and take steps to close the border and change that the life as you know it in America is changing, and it's changing rapidly. This problem is going to directly impact your way of life, regardless of what state you live in.
You know, Tom, this border, it's got to get fixed. It's absolutely unsustainable.
You know, Jaeson, I wake up every day pissed off. You know, I started in border in 1984. I spent almost 34 years doing this job. And what they did to this border is un-American. One of my proudest achievements my entire 35-year career is the creation of Border 911, the nonprofit. Look at the team we brought together. The most distinguished border experts in the world. Not because they read a book. We're still fighting for the country. We're going to take this country back. We're going to secure the border. We're going to protect our national security. We're not going to get rich doing it, but what a team we built.